Well, greetings Stensonites and aviators all around the world. Welcome back to the channel. I wanted to do something a little more concise, and I have been really remiss with doing some of my uploads and filming and whatnot. Today's video is brought to you by Evil Grin. They had a comment on a really old video, which I'm very thankful for going back into the library to go look at some of those videos, even though I don't really approve so much of the production quality that was back then. But the question came up about the axle tool. I went through all the tooling, the stand and making all this stuff, and I negated probably one of the simplest tools for preventative maintenance. Is how do you get the tire off the ground with one of these things? And that's with an axle extension. And I'm going to go through how I make one and where you can buy your own if you really want to throw 70 some odd dollars at Univair's way. So we're going to get into the video, and I'm also going to kind of go over what I kind of keep in the back of the airplane for kind of things you might need in case you might need them. So let's get into it. Now, I keep basically 4 boxes in the back of the airplane. One is my kind of pre-flight bag. I've got a GATS can, fuel sampler, but it has a filter in it so you can sample the fuel and then pour it back into your tank because there's a screen in case you have any particulates you don't want back in the tank. I also have a couple of fuel thieves. One is for checking the main tank fuel levels, and it's basically a straw where you put that in the tank, put your finger over the top, and then pull it out, and then it's graduated to tell you how many gallons are each one of the tanks. I do have a separate one for the aux tank because it's completely different than the mains, but the mains are pretty much the same. They're 20 gallons and 13 in the back. So in addition to having the pre-flight bag, I also have a little toolbox. Keep a socket for the spark plugs. I also have feeler gauges for checking not only the spark plugs but also for the valve lash if need be. Of course, also I have a couple of little spools of safety wire and pliers. I also keep a little tub with extra oil, a funnel, some more rags. Rags is a kind of a continuing theme here. And in addition to all that stuff, I also have a tie-down kit. I use the Fly Ties attachment system. There's another one called the Claw. Anything is better than those dog leash type. Those will definitely pull out of the ground, where you can have several hundreds of pounds on these other styles that if you get into a situation where you get a little bit of wind, you definitely don't want your tie downs coming out of the ground. So get the really good ones. The EAA also has some plans on how to make your own with some angle iron and some really long spikes. That one's really good as well. And now we're on to the star of the show, the landing gear adapter. So I have basically 2 different types. I actually got this one that came with the airplane. Somebody took, I think this is an original adapter, and they just kind of tacked on a bunch of other pieces of tubing, which is good. It's heavy. I don't carry this one around in the plane. I do have one from Univair, which is right here, but it is super thin, and I'm always afraid to use this because I think it's just going to bend and break, especially if you've got a lot of weight in the airplane and you're trying to pick up a tire on one side. So what I've done is I've taken the dimensions, and this is just black pipe you can get from the hardware store, and I've drilled a hole on either side, and then I've just taken and cut slits down to that drill hole, and I use these because I'm more inclined that these are going to hold up than the one from Univer. Plus, this is a lot cheaper. So if you do want to make your own, I'll give you the dimensions here. This is just, like I said, black pipe you can get down at any hardware store. And it is 1 inch. If you can see that or not. So it's 1 inch by a little over 5 inches. And the hole is just shy of a 1/2 inch. How about I show you why this has this little slot here? We'll go down to the landing gear and show you. So down here on the landing gear, you're going to notice this bolt right here. And this is what holds part of the axle on to the tube for the landing gear, and that's the landing gear going up to the plane. That slot is designed to go around that bolt. And then you take a floor jack and lift from here to get the tire off the ground. So here are some of the boxes that I carry. This is my kind of oil service. I keep a couple quarts of oil. That's the fuel thief for the auxiliary tank. There's also like hand warmers and some other items in here. I even have a hand pump, really small one, just in case. You never know if you got a low tire. I also carry a little scale in case you need to make sure you're not going to be overweight. Here is my tie down, sort of tie down, but pre-flight. So GATS can, fuel thief. I have a little bit of cleaner in case I get some smudge on the side of the airplane, and then a funnel for dumping said oil into engine. For cleaning the windshield, I like to use Pledge Lemon. It's the best flavor. I also have a couple of really cheap bike chains. There are some airports that will loan you a bicycle, but they don't always have a chain, so that's always kind of good to have. This is my flight control lock, and this attaches around the stock for the yoke, and this presses up against the panel, so it locks not only the elevators from going back and forth, it also locks the ailerons side to side. So that's always good for the overnights, especially in a place that's windy. And then here is the tie-down kit. It has all the ropes. And then there are these little anchors that get these super long nails that you pound in through those. And they go in such an angle that prevents them from coming out rather easily. So and then the little toolbox that has all of the gloves. This is a little bit of lava soap to clean your hands with, anti-seize, some Plyo-Bond, and I also carry an extra Curtis valve in case one of mine gets plugged up. Of course, various drill bits and the socket for doing spark plug changes. And I have a little cheap multimeter. I really wished I'd had this when I went to Oshkosh, because one of our Stensonites had an electrical problem and couldn't diagnose it because I didn't have a meter. So that goes in the kit as well. And then because this one's such lightweight, I just keep this in the kit as well. And that is my downline kit, if you will, my AOG kit. And I also keep track of how much each one of these weighs, so the tops of these all have the weights on them, so I can quickly tally how much I'm putting in the back of the airplane. So that's just a quick view of some of the things I carry in the back of the airplane, and how to make your own axle adapter. So I hope that helps, and we'll see you on the next one. And may all your flying be good flying.